All right, so first time looking at the charts today here. I'm gonna go check Forex Factory real quick. Today's Wednesday of non-farm payroll. We have news at 8:15, which already happened. We've got a 9:45, we've got a 10, and we've got a 10:30. So really, since we've got Jerome Powell speaking at 1:45, my trading day is gonna conclude at or a little bit after 10:30 a.m. depending on how he reacts from news here and if we're seeing anything develop. But 10:30 is likely where my day's gonna end because of this. So this is my first time looking at the charts. We took out all-time highs. We stopped just short of it on Tuesday, and then I was watching overnight a little bit, an Asia session, and we did take that last night. So pretty much it's free reign up here. I mean, if we go to the weekly time frame and we did like a fib projection, 0.25. This would be a interesting level. Swing low, swing high, 58025. So that's just a measured move level, and that's necessary just because there's literally nothing up here now since we're trading in all-time highs. All right, so those are just measured move targets to have. Check the 4 hour here. Probably gonna be nothing. Yeah. So we're trading well above all-time highs right now. I wouldn't want to try and short today. Um, this catches my eye. This catches my eye for a later time. I wouldn't want to see him move all the way back down here if we're gonna go long. Be below midnight open. We can just mark this out. That is not of importance to me yet. This could be of importance. Okay, so all of this is getting balanced. Like, there's no inefficiencies from the run up here ever since midnight, which is kind of interesting besides right down here. So that actually is interesting. These are equal. Up, down. Let's compare. That's SMT. Had that continuation. I'm not really seeing a whole lot, honestly. Like, this is all balanced. They're not leaving a ton of inefficiencies along the way, besides all the way down here. So I I would have to play it based on the opening range gap because we closed at 310. We're at 450, so that's a huge gap. What we could expect to see is since it's going to be a premium gap, I would be bearish for the first 30 minutes. And since the gap is so large, I would want to see them make an initial high like this, drop it lower to entice. That initial high would entice buyers, drop it lower to entice sellers, and then I would want to see them take this high out to trap them, and then I would want to see them drop it lower. If it opens and just keeps on going, I'm not going to chase it. If it opens and keeps on going lower, I'm not going to chase that. I would want to see a take of this initial high first for me to be comfortable because that gap is so large. So that's pretty much all I have for the morning up till this point. Um, Open is in 20 minutes, so we'll just wait and see what happens until then.
This was a really nice pre-market short market maker sell model on Nasdaq here. I just didn't take this because I don't feel comfortable shorting at the highs. I've been there where I tried and it just keeps cutting higher, and I have learned from that, and I'm not going to do it again. So this can go down without me. Um, what I would like to see is, some kind of stab lower down here potentially, and then a reversal higher at some point. But again, on like the 15 minute, we really just have this cluster of balanced price range. So it would take a pretty strong move to get through all of this and then reach to the 1 hour BISI. At that point, you know, potentially start looking for higher prices. Um, but yeah, the 1 hour, I want to see how we react to this order block. If we go through it with ease and all of this is balanced, then I believe the next target would be all the way down here, especially with the premium gap that we're about to have at New York Open. Right there. See, that's pretty big. So I want to get my fib ready. For that. And now we just wait and see. Another thing that makes this area interesting down lower for me is if I take a fib from, yep, there we go. If I take a fib from the low on the current day after midnight open up until the high, right down here we have OTE area, and that's mixed with like a 1 hour BISI and some liquidity down here that we could be sweeping. So just something that I'm noticing. We just opened, so I want to see how we react from here. And again, right now it's just monitoring because we do have news coming up at like 9:45 and 10 a.m. Got sell side right here. That's a 15-minute swing low. Right at the 62. It's going to open. People are going to want to be shorting at the all-time highs. They could short it right into here. Send it higher. That is the current low on the day, which is London low. I wouldn't want to see that taken. And it would match nicely with a 10 a.m. reversal profile. So initially open, take it lower. People are going to want to be shorting at all-time highs. That's just naturally what they want to do. To try and pick a top. Mixed with a 10 a.m. reversal profile to go long, mixed with moving lower to stab into the opening range gap to then take it higher. Something that I could entertain. But we just did first fair value gap, so we'll see how we react here. If you were to short, it'd be something like this. Put it above that just to be safe. Go down there. But again, I'm not shorting because they could just keep whipping it up at some point. I'm not looking to be a part of that. And then what would really ignite this move up is if we move down here and then we get some SMT between NASDAQ and ES. So I'll probably go in one contract around here, and that would be my trade for the day to target the highs. And then I would scale if we get SMT and go down to like a 1 minute time frame or a 5 minute time frame and look for a fair value gap there. And this is your initial high from the opening range so far. So high, low, swept. Breakout buyers are engaged. Their stops are going to be below here. Yeah, this is looking really good for shorts right here. If a fair value gap gets created here, news could pop up, dive into this area, shoot lower. We're also trading at the opening range gap high right now. So a close back inside of it could mean for a run down here. Yeah, there's that touch to mid gap right there. That was pretty. And here's that move lower. Stops are going to be below here. I'll get rid of this alarm. If we don't see follow through to that easily though, then it could just be a real choppy morning. I want to see this act as inversion. Or excuse me, it would be reclaimed. A reclaimed SIBI. Let's see it start to go lower now. I like that. Immediate rebalance. Fails to hit the midpoint. Nice close outside of it. A lot of long wicks here on the 15-minute time frame, so this is kind of telling me that it could be just a crappy morning, especially since we didn't see that follow through right here and it's starting to move higher again. But we have this order block. I would not want to see this high get pierced. I want to see this stay untouched and see some kind of move lower from here. But yeah, I think it just chops people up in here all morning and then eventually goes down here to go back higher. I could see this being a morning where people blow their accounts for sure. Like already in this action, this is tough. So people who are trying to chase buys and are breakout buyers and things like that, they definitely just got triggered up above here. And this would honestly be good if we were to come all the way back down here, because this would be like triggering those longs, and then stops could be placed below these equal lows to then go long. So it would be like a buy side first, sell side second situation. One thing that I think could be good, looking at the 5 minute time frame here, is we obviously made no attempt to take this sell side here, and we're trading at all-time highs, so it's so bullish at this point. And people who keep trying to short keep getting wrecked. I like how we created this high right here. We went up, we took it, traded back down, and then we finally made our way above that. Right? So this really whole thing up here is important in my eyes. Now we have a 5 minute BISI. We have a big wick right here. That's interesting to me. Made no problem, or had no problems getting through that. And if we take a look here, OTE level. While taking out this sell side here. Could be interesting. People are thinking this is a bull flag right here. Okay, so it would be really nice if they took it higher to entice longs, and then sent it lower down here like that. Because they just saw this one work out right here. They saw this as a bull flag, and it worked. Now they're seeing another one. They think they want continuation, so they could just take it, rip it down, and then send it higher. So I just want to go for a 1.5 R. I like how we made equal highs right here. Screenshot it from my journal. I like my fill here too. It's right at CE. And hit that 62% level nice. Once this gets hit, I'll go break even. SMT at the lows right here. These are equal on the S&P. It took that. But I still want to give it room. I don't want to choke my stop loss up there yet. That's fine. I would want to see the S&P hold that low. That would make me feel better. Wick's doing the damage, body's respecting it. Stop here. We still got some levels it could go down into here. It's okay. This 1 minute BISI is like right here. I'll still keep it labeled as 5 minute, but yeah, see how it's hitting off of that midpoint right there and the 62%. I have this wick right here as my defense. It's marked on the 5 minute. If I put it on the 1 minute right here, it's at the low. So that's why I have my stop loss all the way down here. It's just because it's kind of framed on a 5 minute time frame. I like how we have this wick as defense. Like this is all balanced right here. So it shouldn't go below if it's going to continue higher. Or if we're still bullish, I should say. But I want to see us trade above this and use it as inversion and take out these equal highs and beyond. And we're in the macro time here, so if we look at the bottom, this orange bar, that's my macro time. Late AM macro, it's 10:50 to 11:10. So bull flag traders got smoked here, trying to go long. I think people who are trying to short right here at the highs, I think they'll get hurt too. And that's my narrative behind this trade. My bias is long just because we're trading at all-time highs, of course, and I don't want to try and pick a top. But what goes through my mind is who can get hurt right now. The only thing that, as far as market profile goes, that makes me a little bit more cautious is we're coming into the later part of the morning. And so since we've only been going up for the day, sometimes when we get to the later part of the morning, like 11:30 noon, we could see a retracement and that would be like a run on those stops that are trailed from the morning. So that's the only thing that kind of conflicts with this idea of going long still. It's like a lot of times. So my target's just right there because it's a measured move from this low to this high. Just the extra 0.25%. I like this reaction we're seeing. If we could get a close above this inversion fair value gap, I'd be happy with that. But we still have a lot of time left in this candle, another 20 seconds. All right, so I like that close. Once we break above here, even if it's just on a wick, I'll go break even because if it just wicks above, that means it could go, and we don't see follow through. That means it could go all the way back down here and take these lows. And I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to spend the mental capital on that. I'd rather just take a break even trade, especially since it's Wednesday of NFP week. I'll screenshot this here too, real quick, for my journal. It's best if it just takes off now. I don't want to see it try and dive back into here. I would rather see this be a breakaway gap since it's below 50% of this inversion fair value gap. It can come and tap in here, but that's all. That's what I would want to see is just a tap. I wouldn't want to see it go all the way down and fill it. I just want to see it tap and go if it does that. It's best if it just goes without doing it because that would tell me it's more bullish. Yeah, we could see a nice run. If it fills that, then I would not feel comfortable. $1.7R. Okay with that. Alright, so I'll go break even here now. And I'll screenshot it for my journal. Don't want to see a rejection here. I just want to see it push up a little bit more. I like 21,500, big round number right there. And honestly, I'll move this just a little bit lower as like a low-hanging fruit. Not ask too much. I'll put it right below 21,500. This is really my main target as far as working with this little range here goes. But again, I don't want to be greedy. I just want to, take it. But the fact that we didn't fill this, I like. I don't want to see this rejection here. I just want to see it show a willingness to continue. If it were to return all the way back here, then I would really not like that. I don't think it should. This is the 10 a.m. candle high. 11 a.m. just opened and took it. I don't want to see this type of rejection. Honestly, not liking this right now. But I mean, I'm protected. 3 PD arrays, this order block, this inversion fair value gap, and this BISI right here. So I'm protected. Costs are covered. If it hits break even, it hits break even. So I just got to accept that. I will say though, it's always a good feeling when you see a candle like this, which is when it was completely full. It was like a huge down closed black candle that I think would scare a lot of people in trying to go long. And I was able to anticipate that, wait for it, and hit the trigger while not being phased by that. Because I knew what I was looking for, and it was my plan. So, and then following that, we got accumulation and then the nice move up. So yeah, again, like I said, with this staying open, it gives me a little bit more confidence that we would see continuation higher. I believe if this got completely filled and then we went and took this high, it would have immediately just reversed. So we got another 5 minute BISI following this one. If it's still going to stay bullish, now I believe it could come down and wick into this. Or take this low here. It would be okay if it did that. Okay, so it's only that area that I just talked about. Alright, yeah, this isn't looking good though. This looks like it's going to hit break even. Pretty much we're in the last line of defense right now. If it just breezes through this, then these lows are going to get taken. So this, I would now want to see, act as inversion. But it looks like, since that's right at CE, it could just tap that and then shoot lower to take these. That's on inversion here on scale. But I don't get myself right now, because we're still down in this one. It's a long trade. Got in right here. Half hour so far. I don't think we'll trade that long. I want to map out this. Stand up somewhere. I want to map out the midpoint. Solid close above this, this, and this. We should go higher. Yeah, it's looking like inversion now. We hit that and then go lower. I would love to see it not do that. I would love to see it pile through. But we also got to close outside of this 5 minute BISI. Midpoint right there. Yeah, it's already starting. There it goes. Perfect touch off of midpoint. Do I wish I took profit right here? Yes. But doesn't always work out that way. Yeah, I don't think it would have been like really good. How many handles is that? 25. I mean, yeah, that's you know, on a day like today, that's probably something I should have done. Let's see if it's 79% safe stuff. Can I hide this? Doesn't see. Honestly, if they send it above here and keep going high, that's just lagging the face of shorts. There it goes. Kind of annoying, but I protected myself, so it is what it is. All right, so after letting some time go by, I'm honestly pretty happy with my performance today. Um, I feel like lately I've been buying in a premium on the lower time frames and the higher time frames. If you take a look where I bought up here, it technically wasn't a premium as to where we were in the day, but it's okay because on the lower time frame, I waited for a couple things to align and to go into that lower time frame or shorter time frame discount um, from this low. Oops. From this low to this high. Went into discount, swept liquidity into a higher time frame 5 minute BISI and a 1 minute BISI, and OTE level with equal highs above with a higher time frame. Obvious continuation of higher prices. Um, I honestly would have preferred going long down here, like I mentioned at the beginning of the day. If we saw a sweep of this into this 1 hour BISI, this is the move I wanted to see, like this, as a reaction to get dipping into here, but they ended up leaving these as smooth. So I think at some point in the future, I'm not sure when, I think this will eventually be attacked um, as a future draw on liquidity. But yeah, I'm happy with how I managed the position and protected myself and went break even. I think what would have been more effective is, since I went in with two contracts, taking one off right here and then holding, uh, to be more specific, taking one off at this high right here and then holding for that 0.25 level with my last contract right here. I think that would have been the more effective way to go about this. But as far as it being a Wednesday and the week of NFP, I was happy with how I performed today. I didn't get chopped up at all down here. I'm sure some people did. And was able to recognize a trade that really was a low resistance liquidity run. It didn't take long to get to my target or to get to this first high right here. I just didn't see that follow through that I was looking for. But, just another thing to learn from. So, happy with how things went today. And yeah, that pretty much covers what I wanted to go over here. So, hope that was helpful. And have a good one, guys.